you've got someone in Tanner Houck who has just blossomed under this new philosophy, right? Or taken to the lessons everyone's teaching. Talk a little about him specifically, because this is a guy who up to now had really yet to establish himself as a guy who can get third time through the order. He can go deeper into games. And now he says he's got so much conviction, he feels like he's just playing catch out there. He believes in anything the catcher's calling, and that speaks to buy-in, right? To the entire concept. He's not only bought into it, but he now believes that he can just go out and execute and not think about any of it. What does that mean to you guys when you hear something like that?
Yeah, it means a lot. It means he's in a really good headspace. We want our guys externally focused as much as possible, focusing on the big box, the strike zone. When we have the internal thoughts creep in, kind of command and execution can kind of suffer and some self doubt. So we want our guys, when they're competing in game, we want them as external as focused as possible. And with Tanner specifically, man, he's so unique. The way that he throws, we want to tap into that kind of outlier movement that he's got. That's what separates him and what really is his label as a big league pitcher. So relentlessly attacking the zone with his best pitch types is the goal. He loves to talk about just playing catch. And I'm really proud of the work that he put in and taking a look at his arsenal, during the course of the off season and trying to put together best plan with our group to support him and make him the best version of himself every fifth or sixth day was really important. And he was extremely open minded. Came into camp ready to go. He had a fantastic off season, and was really open minded. And I think just some structure and some work and some accountability on different things, has really put him in a good position to go out every fifth day and go pitch as deep into the game as AC wants him to have the ball. So really proud of the work that he put in this offseason, the open mindedness, the fluidness of communication and conversation. And I don't think there's a right answer or wrong answer to any of this. We want guys to be able to pitch free of mind when they're out there, understand what they do really well, and do that relentlessly. Baseball should be, pitching should be boring. You should just do the same thing over and over and over again, until the hitters tell you differently. And even when the hitters tell you differently, maybe on a one-off game, do you really change at that point in time, or do you just stick with it? And all of our guys have been throwing the ball really well, and I'm really proud of the work that they've all put in, especially Tanner.
With Houck, it is super interesting to think about some of the changes that have been made, whether it's the movement profile of some of the pitches, right? Like obviously the slider sweeper has gotten bigger again, added 4 inches
Yep.
of break. The splitter he's been more comfortable with. So I wonder if you could kind of walk us through what the off-season kind of homework assignments were for him when you had that initial introductory Zoom. And then to me, if you can layer on top of that, like the thing that really seems to have made all of it work so well is that repositioning of where he stood on the rubber and kind of creating a really nice lane for him to be able to throw a pitch where his movement works in the zone. And so, kind of interested in how it worked on paper and then how the practical application kind of unfolded a little bit differently this spring.
Yeah, again, like looking at the splitter, the success of the sinker, and then being able to kind of tap into the slider a little bit. Tanner did a great job this offseason of kind of like, to be honest, like developing the slider a little bit on his own and making some slight adjustments, on the split. But again, like his missed patterns are typically arm side, just the way that he unwinds down the mound. So putting him in a position to grab strikes early in counts was kind of the name of the game. So when his backup reps, tend to happen, we're still grabbing strikes as like kind of the bare minimum, right? So when his slider misses arm side or his splits kind of arm side, at least has a chance to grab a strike. And then the way that he unwinds down the mound, a little bit of crossbody. And again, like it was just looking under the hood, getting to know the player. What does he want to be? Amplifying his voice in the conversation as well. Everyone kind of has their own development path. timetable for that. I think big leaguers are really never done developing, and as soon as we think we're done developing, complacency sets in, and then we can kind of watch the success unwind as well. So Tanner's doing a great job of staying focused on what he needs to do, asking great questions on how to continue to get better, but really sticking to his strengths. And again, like it wasn't earth shattering. It's just talking through like, okay, his four seamer, his cutter, what do we need to do there? How do we make the cutter a little bit of a better weapon? What grip adjustment or profile do we want to attack? You know, is the four seam valuable in his arsenal? I think there could be some value in there, but like for right now, when you want to throw a four seam, just throw one of your other other weapons that is having so much success. So again, it's just open conversations, and yeah, it's just I don't really think that like a lot has been done other than some education on what he does really well, and he was really open about it. Wants to be really great, and he has been, and looking forward to watching him go out there every fifth and sixth day compete.